Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. For those of you that might be new, this is Freight Master Resources, where I provide tips, tools, resources, industry news to help you grow and be more successful in the freight industry. Before I really get into today's video, I have gotten a ton of messages about factoring. Again, if in my humble opinion, Operfi is hands down the best. And I've dealt with a lot of different factoring companies. So if you are looking for factoring, there is a link in the description down below. They've got annual and quarterly rates for veterans, non-veterans. If you're a first responder, former law enforcement officer, right? They can do customized or tiered rates as needed based on current situation and volumes. So yeah, it costs you nothing. Click the link, talk to them, see if they're going to be the right fit for you. So that's the best thing you can do, right? If you're in search of factoring. So without any further ado, as always, if you would like to reach me, freightmasterresources@gmail.com. If you have something you want to share, you have, questions or anything like that, by all means, or recommend a topic for an upcoming video. I love to get the emails. I keep it monitored pretty regularly. So freightmasterresources@gmail.com. Okay. So jumping into today's video is foreign investments in Mexico are starting to slow, and what that means for logistics and freight. Okay. It's been a hot moment for Mexico. The country is ranking in foreign direct investments like never before. $31 billion in the first half of 2024 alone. That's about a 7% jump year over year, with the automotive sector leading the charge with all of that. But while some companies are pumping billions into Mexico's manufacturing sector, others are kind of hitting the brakes, right? So what's going on south of the border, and why does it matter for freight and logistics? Well, let's go over it. Toyota has committed $1.45 billion to boost Tacoma production at its Baja California and Guanajuato Guanajuato. I apologize. I get tongue-tied sometimes. Plants showing Mexico growing importance in North America's supply chain. There's some investment headaches, and not all the headlines are rosy. U.S. companies paused $35 billion in planned investments, citing jitters over Mexico's proposed judicial reforms. These changes, like electing judges and magistrates, have investors worried about legal stability. And uncertainty in Mexico's political arena could ripple into compliance and regulatory hurdles. For example, Vulcan Materials. The U.S.-based construction giant is locked in a heated battle with the Mexican government after its limestone quarry at port in Playa del Carmen, I hope I got that pronounced right, were declared part of a new nature reserve. Okay. Vulcan has halted operations after being accused of environmental damage, accused the government of illegally expropriating its assets, and filed for a $1.5 billion in compensation in an ongoing arbitration case. This standoff basically not only affects Vulcan's business, but could signal bigger challenges for U.S.-Mexico investment ties, especially under Mexico's evolving environmental and land use policies. Mexico is eager to win back foreign investor confidence after controversial energy and judicial reforms rattled businesses, but whether these are promises materialized remains basically to be seen. Okay. Chinese manufacturers are routing goods through Mexico to dodge U.S. tariffs. Okay. The Made in Mexico loophole. Basically, this clever workaround has U.S. and Canadian trade hawks up in arms, sparking lawsuits and scrutiny. Basically, Chinese EV makers like BYD are eyeing Mexico as a launch pad to ship vehicles into the U.S. market, bypassing steep tariffs, and Canada and the U.S. have imposed to protect their nascent EV industries. Canadian Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland recently voiced concerns about Mexico's alignment with the CUSMA partners on trade policy, stating, "I've heard real concerns about whether Mexico is fully aligned when it comes to policies vis-a-vis China." She said, incoming President-elect Donald Trump's team echoes these worries. Freeland's remarks came amid suggestions from Canadian officials to cut Mexico out of future trade deals altogether if it continues to be a conduit for deep Chinese goods, right? So for logistics players, it's a double-edged sword. Sure, it boosts cross-border activity, but it also risks trade clampdowns that could throw supply chains into chaos, right? One of those potential hiccups that we've been talking about with things, right? So with President-elect Donald Trump's return to office, there are concerns about potential policy shifts affecting nearshoring to Mexico. Trump has advocated for tariffs on all imports, not just ones from China. And it has been critical of companies moving production outside the U.S. Such policies could influence investment decisions and alter the dynamics of U.S.-Mexico trade relations. Just as a quick little back in time, if you remember, prior to the previous election, Ford had been kind of looking at building a new manufacturing plant either in, I believe it was Ohio. And if anybody else remembers this, correct me if my memory is off, but I believe that they were looking at building it in Mexico or Ohio. So either Ohio or Mexico, depending. But as soon as Trump was not reelected, they opted to do business in Mexico instead of here in the U.S. So I think that's one of the things that they're kind of trying to do is reestablish manufacturing in the U.S. We've had it once before. I'm not going to preach on it. I have in previous videos. But yeah, it's, the tariffs, again, while, it will put a little hurt probably on the wallet there, but overall, long term, I at least in my humble opinion, and I think across many others, is that, long term, it will benefit our economy. The increase in FDI suggests more freight movement, a positive development. And here are some more reasons to kind of celebrate that, right? Despite Trump's threats of tariffs, year-to-date cross-border trucking traffic rose 52% through September, according to Motive. Major players like DHL, Uber Freight, and Maersk are snapping up land and building warehouses in key border cities like El Paso and Laredo.
Unknown caller.
Sorry about that. Companies like Redwood Logistics are investing heavily in Mexican facilities, confident in the long-term growth of U.S.-Mexico trade, driven by nearshoring. Billions in foreign direct investments are expected to translate into manufacturing facilities and finished goods destined for the U.S. However, challenges still include potential congestion at border crossings as production scales up, a shifting regulatory environment requiring major flexibility, and possible surge policy changes under the U.S. administration affecting cross-border logistics. Mexico's FDI surge is no fluke, and the freight industry stands to benefit big time. However, political uncertainty and trade tensions could throw up some roadblocks. So I guess basically I kind of wanted to do this video for anybody that that does cross-border shipping with with Mexico, whether you're a carrier or a broker. Just kind of be aware of some potential hiccups that could come, I guess. So that being said, I hope everybody's having a great day. Have a great week. Till next time, as always, be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.